Previously on Sisters in Stars Hollow.
Let's stick your hand down someone's pants. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that could be. Oh, and I triple dog dare ya. Okay.
Triple dog dare you to Google that right now. I still think they're a little bit in a we'll never have problems again mode.
Yeah. I was rooting for you.
It was a quote about putrid flesh.
And we're back.
And we're back. And I was so anxious to watch this episode, and I still have questions.
I'm sure you do.
Julie, I'm
sure
annoyed.
you do.
Lorelai's annoying me. I feel like I was annoyed at her the whole time.
Yeah, this one annoys me for a specific reason, and I think we should maybe should we just get this out in the open now, and we can talk about it throughout?
Maybe we should.
Okay. She never contacts Max.
Okay, so this is confirmed.
This is something that I've been like, I need to discuss this with somebody. This is one of these moments that I haven't been able to like scream about. She never has any contact with him. She never has contact with him and is never explained. How the hell does Max know that there is no wedding? He just shows up and no one shows up. Like Miss Patty told him. How the heck?
Do we just never see Max again? You can't comment on that.
I can't comment on that.
Okay.
But you'll see as time goes on, this is never addressed.
Okay.
How this went down is never addressed. And it is something that has driven me nuts over the years watching this show.
Okay, because the last episode, I was going between, I was like, did she call him off screen and they just didn't show it? And then she came in and there's supposed to be like an implication of like, oh, I just called him and I called it off. But like, it was really unclear. So I like didn't know. And I thought maybe something would happen this episode to kind of clear that up.
Right.
And it did not happen.
You would think
and
that.
Actually, the more that time goes on, the more that it feels like she didn't call him. Like just the way everything has gone down. And like,
there's never any mention of how Max took it. This has bothered me so much.
Because remember I told you like they're going to have a conversation? I had predicted that she was going to like call it off.
Yes.
At like the last minute in some way. But she was going to talk to him and she was going to say, I can't do this. And it was going to be a whole dramatic scene of some kind.
Yes.
They just never showed that at all. But they didn't even explain what even happened.
It's just like, I'm not marrying him. Let's go.
She just states to no one except Rory, I'm not getting married. Let's go on a road trip.
So is that supposed to be the implication that she called it off with him? But it's so unclear if that's the case. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like she had that conversation with Luke outside where they were under the chuppah. And then she's like, I can't do this. And then she's like, Rory, let's go. I got to run away. I got to run away from my problems. Okay. And then throughout this episode, she's calling Suki to spread the word. And it's like,
does Max even know? Yeah, right. Like,
when does Max find out about this?
I got to the end of this episode, and well, now you've told me, but I'm like, this is so weird. Like, does he know? I don't know if he knows yet. Also, the date of the wedding hasn't happened yet because it's just like Friday night dinner. And her mom doesn't know yet. And it could be the next day he could show up and think that there's I have no idea.
I'm telling you that this is never addressed. I'm not saying we never see Max again. I'm just saying this is never addressed.
So, okay, so we can go back and let's make an assumption then that in the last episode, after she talks to Luke and before she goes into Rory's room, she has called Max and told him, I can't get married to you.
I guess after this conversation, that's the assumption I have to make.
I just thought that they would have clarified that or brought him up in some way like this episode to make it more clear what went down because they didn't show the interaction.
Right.
Also, this whole episode was weird for other reasons too.
There's a lot of
just Lorelai's making
questionable things.
Yeah, there's some questionable behavior from someone who is
32,
an adult.
Oh gosh, all the things.
Anyway, I have a cup of tea today.
Anyway, what are we
because
drinking?
I need to calm myself down a little bit, so I'm not yelling this whole time.
Yeah, Alex has a uncaffeinated cup of tea, so really. You're breaking the rules, but that's okay. I'll allow it.
Okay.
To free for all these days. No, it's got my espresso yellow.
Nice.
Classic. And if you guys want to give us a coffee recommendation for this season.
Season 2 coffee theme or something?
Give us something, guys. Give us something. No, it's fun. It's so fun when we hear from you guys. We want to know what you guys are drinking. Even if it's like what you order at Starbucks.
True.
Like, customized way I order my drink or at Dunkin' or wherever. I don't know.
Yeah, like we'll try it.
It sounds good. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Unless it's weird. Unless it's like obviously weird, okay? Like don't send in
something
Like
what's
weird.
An example of something that's obviously weird, Julia? Like
I don't know.
When I go to Starbucks, I have them crack a fried egg into my
with
coffee.
Sriracha. I'll be like, all right, that's clearly fake. Okay. So don't send that in. We won't be doing that.
I don't know. Now that I just said that, I'm like intrigued. I'm like, what would that?
What?
An egg, fried egg with I don't know. It's breakfast.
It's breakfast.
It's got a breakfast theme going. I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, send us a message. Hit us up. All right. I'm ready to talk about this. So
Yes,
let's
go.
I'm Julia.
I'm Alex.
This is Sisters in Stars Hollow, Season 2, Episode 4, Road Trip to Harvard. So the episode opens and we see Lorelai's Jeep. She's driving down a country road. Lorelai and Rory are on their great escape to, we don't know. We don't know where they're going. We're in the car. Lorelai is complaining because they forgot to bring music with them and she cannot get over that fact. She's like, what is a road trip without tunes? I'm like, yeah, this is before the time of streaming your stuff.
But she's kind of right. Like, you go on a road trip and you're like, but now we can't listen to anything? That would be terrible.
You have to talk?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Talk?
Yeah.
No.
I can do that.
Well, you got to do both. You have to have the music and the talking.
You do, yes.
If you just listen to music with no conversation with people in the car, what's that even? What is that?
What is that? That's weird. That's wrong. What is that? Cassandra, you have to. This has been now come up multiple times the past couple of weeks. You have to watch How I Met Your Mother. This made me think of that. There's an episode where like Ted and Marshall, they become friends from back in the day when they were in college and they go on this road trip.
Okay.
And Marshall's car is like old and broken and it only plays, and I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more. And it is like so funny because there's like this montage of like them like driving, listening to the song, and like as it progresses, it's like first they hate it, then they like love it, then they hate it, then they love it. It's like it's so good.
That's so real though. I feel like that's what would actually happen.
It would happen
if you were forced to listen to the
same thing over and over. So funny. Anyway.
Okay, apparently I have to watch that show because just the references just keep coming lately.
I don't know. Lately, just the references for me, I'm like, wait, this is like How I Met Your Mother. And same thing that was happening with Gilmore Girls, where I was like, Alexander, you have to watch Gilmore Girls so you understand the references. And now I'm like, Alexander, you have to watch How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
So, yes, Lorelai is upset. They didn't have any music with them, but Rory is upset about the fact that they have no idea where they are, where they're going. Rory's like, stop complaining about the tunes. Lorelai says, stop complaining about our whereabouts. Rory's like, well, my complaint is legitimate. Yours is infantile. Lorelai turns on the radio and it's just country music. She's like, see, we have only country to listen to. But Rory's like, look, we have to stop and figure out where we're going. Lorelai's like, no, the point of this is to be spontaneous and to end up in a place we've never been and never expected to be. Rory thinks that's risky. Lorelai thinks that's exciting. This is really showing their two personalities.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, that's a classic, like, how they're different. Like,
yes.
I don't think Rory likes spontaneous stuff.
She does not. She made that very clear throughout this entire episode. She's like, what? Every time Lorelai's doing something, she's like, stop. What are you doing? Apparently, they pass a sign, and Rory's like, wait, what did that sign say? It said don't or death on it. We're doomed. But they're just going back and forth, and Lorelai turns the radio on again, and the radio host says, coming up, a 3-song superset from Hootie and the Blowfish. And they're both like, no.
What's wrong with Hootie and the Blowfish?
I like Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Blowfish.
I think both of us had the same thought at this part, and I was like, I like Hootie and the Blowfish. That's actually a good
I'm
thing
glad
to
you
listen to
said
in the
that.
car.
I was like, I feel like I'm in the minority here with that. I feel like people are weird about Hootie and the Blowfish. And I'm like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew this.
I don't know where I'm getting that from. Something in my past, probably. But
they're in my list of like good 90s music. It has a good place in my heart.
Same. And recently, in the past couple years, I actually heard Post Malone did a cover of Only Want to Be With You.
Really?
It is so good.
Oh, I haven't heard this.
You would love it. I love that cover. I love the original. I've always loved that song. But the cover just... Oh, he does such a good job.
Oh, Post Malone is so good too, by the way.
Is.
Oh my gosh, I want to go listen to this like right
I know
now.
you like Post Malone. That's why I
do.
was like, you should listen to that. Maybe I can also link it with this episode. It just gives you like warm fuzzies. I don't know,
Yeah.
fuzzy feelings. But from that scene, we fade to the intro and fade out. And Lorelai and Rory have found some sort of like pop-up farmer's market, Hayden's Nut House. They're like, oh, we love road food. This is so exciting. They bought some things, some bags of nuts. So I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Just
I don't know.
Coming
that's
across here's a local
thing. And they stopped and bought some things.
Nice.
I don't know. I liked that part of the trip, I guess.
Yeah, me too.
Then we're back in the car. Lorelai picks up her cell phone and she has to call Suki because she did not get a chance to tell her anything before they left. Suki picks up. She's like, oh, are you on your way in? Lorelai says, no, actually, I'm going out of town for a couple of days. Suki laughs at that, like, wait, what? You're supposed to be getting married this weekend. And then Lorelai says, Suki, the engagement is off. And says, it's a long story. I don't want to go into all the little gory details right now, but you should know that we all still love Max. To figure out exactly what happened, you'd have to dig up Freud himself and have him work on me full time. So anyway, I hope you didn't get too far on that cake. Suki's like, oh, no. That's one thing you can be thankful about. You caught me in plenty of time. And Lorelai's like, oh, good. I know all the work you were going to put into it, and I would have just killed myself if you'd done all that craziness for nothing. And Suki's like, yeah. Actually, I forgot about it, so it's fine. But we see this cake, this extravagant, 5-tier cake that she's made. Lorelai's like, okay, great, and says, can you mention canceling the wedding to Miss Patty as a way of spreading the news through the town so Lorelai doesn't have to. They kind of end the call. But we see Suki still in the kitchen and she looks at the cake and is like, you were a good cake, Clyde. Never should have named you. And she's cutting up the cake and passing out pieces to the staff, which I'm like, you know what? That's good, actually, instead of throwing it away or something.
I much prefer this. Whenever there's a food that's oh man, we can't use this anymore, and TV and stuff, they always throw it away. Why do they do that?
Stop that.
Have you noticed that? It's this person didn't eat their dinner. I'm going to scrape the whole thing into the trash. You could put that in the fridge. You could eat some of it yourself.
Put that in some nice Tupperware.
Yeah, just put it in. There's never a scene where it's oh man, okay, I'll put this in the Tupperware. I'll eat it later. It's scrape it into the trash. Throw. Oh, I bought you this cake. You're not going to eat it? Put it in the trash. I feel like that happens in TV.
I think you're right. Things are too expensive out there.
I know.
To be just wasting food like that.
Who has the money for this? So she's just oh, we're all going to just have some nice cake. That's good.
Might as well cut it up and pass it out to everybody. Yeah, I like that. So we're back in the car. Lorelai says to Rory, that better not be a map. And Rory is looking at a map and she says, sorry, but I'm openly defying your no map policy. It's going to be dark in a couple of hours and I don't want to sleep in the car. Where are we going? We have to figure this out a little bit. Rory thinks they might be heading towards New Hampshire, which makes Lorelai remember that she had an old friend. He had this B&B that he had opened up. And Rory's like, ugh, B&B? Cool B&B? I don't know. And Lorelai's like, no, it's pretty cool. Every room is decorated in a weird style from a different century. And Rory's like, okay, well, let's at least call ahead and figure it out. And Lorelai's like, no, let's just go. So they flash to the next scene. We're at the B&B. We see a sign that says, welcome to the Cheshire Cat. You can kind of see it's already lots of
weird decor.
Yeah. Throughout. Lorelai and Rory come on in and there's a lady at the front desk who says, hi, would you like to ring the bell? I'm not usually sitting at the desk when guests arrive, so people ring the bell and they love to ring the bell. And you didn't get to ring the bell. So Lorelai does. This lady, she goes, well done.
Well done.
And they're like, is there a room available? And she's like, yes, there most certainly is, you lucky pretty little things, you.
You.
So Lorelai asks if her friend Donald is there, but this lady is like, oh, no. I bought it from him last year. I'm LaDawn, which also, LaDawn?
Yeah, is that a name?
I don't know. It gave me pause.
It gave you pause.
Unique.
It's actually kind of a cool name,
It's very unique. But yeah, so she's like, oh no, I bought it from him last year. Yeah, it does look a little different. Before it was a little wacky. It was a little fun, just a little too woohoo. Just too eclectic, and I don't care for eclectic. I don't think B&B goers do either. And Lorelai's like, yeah, you wouldn't want anything out of the normal. Meanwhile,
they're looking around.
It's there's a lot of weird dolls and cats and weird stuff and just things a little strange. And so LaDawn gives them a room and Lorelai says, okay, great. I just need to consult with my daughter really quick. And they step a step away from the front desk. They're like in earshot of LaDawn.
Yeah, why does this keep happening in this show?
I knew you were going to say that.
I feel like I'm usually the one that has to comment on like, why do they keep having conversations like 2 feet away from the person that they're talking about, and it's filmed like that person can't hear them? Like,
well, in this
they're
case,
in the same room.
LaDawn kept looking up and smiling, which I was like, she can hear them. She definitely can hear them right now. And Lorelai's like, we have to leave this place immediately. This place is named after an Alice in Wonderland character. This is my worst nightmare. Like, oh my God. And LaDawn's like looking up and smiling, like, oh. But Rory is tired and hungry. She's like, we have to stay. I'm exhausted and I need to eat something. Like, this is what we got.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. So Lorelai agrees and they're like, okay, show us to our room. LaDawn's like, okay, and like grabs all of their bags. And of course they have like 50 duffel bags because they packed for like every possible thing. They're like, oh, you don't have to do that. She's like, no, it's fine. You're my guest. And she's like struggling to carry the bags. But then before they go, LaDawn looks at Rory and she's like, do you want to ring the bell? You haven't rung the bell. Rory's like, no, I'm good. Maybe some other time. And she's like, oh, okay.
This is weird.
I think we can say that this B&B experience is definitely a spooky moment.
Yeah, a little bit.
It could have like been worse.
Oh yeah, it could have been
For
way worse.
sure.
I think there's a later part of the B&B that's more spooky than their intro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying the experience as a whole.
Okay, yes, agree.
It's just a whole is a spooky
Yes.
moment. But we can deep dive into more.
Okay.
LaDawn takes her bags and going upstairs and she's like, oh, watch out for the cat, Sammy. You know, and he's on the stairs. And Lorelai and Rory make this comment like, or that's the cat that ate Sammy, like trying to be like the cat's really fat or something. I did.
Is that what they meant? Because I didn't understand.
That's the only thing that I could ascertain.
Because it was like a normal cat. So it was like, what? But okay, if they were saying like, oh, it's like a fat cat.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even.
It wasn't even that fat. I don't know, with a bunch of cats. So I can't like be like, oh yeah, no, that was clearly a fat cat. Like, I don't know. It looked like a normal cat to me anyway. But I feel like they make jokes throughout where it's like, oh, it's a fat cat. So anyway, they go upstairs. They open the door to their room. Both Lorelai and Rory are like, wow, there's a lot of flowers in here. Lorelai's like, oh my gosh, are they moving? And LaDawn's like, oh, it does look that way, doesn't it? There's foil in the paper to give them that effect. She's like, I just get so many compliments on this room. B&Bers love a peaceful setting so they can unwind from their hectic lives. This room is just like covered in flowers. There's a lot of flowers. And then LaDawn asks Lorelai what business she's in. And Lorelai goes, publishing. And she's like, oh, that's fascinating. But then leaves. And then they're looking around the room. They make this rude comment about it. I'm just like, it's not that bad.
No, it wasn't.
And this is where I'm like, they could have played into this like creepy experience, like crazy experience a little more. If like the room was filled with dolls or something, I think that would have been more funny to the comments they were making and how they were reacting to the room and things like that.
Yeah, I agree. It just was like, okay, so it's floral wallpaper.
I honestly didn't think like, oh my God, there's so many flowers. Like it was a lot, but it wasn't like weird. It wasn't weird. I don't know.
I agree with you. They were trying to make a joke of like, there was like an overwhelming theme of something weird. Weird or off-putting or like,
and it's like it was flowers
annoying, like in the room.
Of all the things, like why didn't they pick cats?
Yes, like what if there was like cat wallpaper all over and with cats, like cat dolls and stuff?
That would have been that would have been like, oh my God, cats, you know, like.
Okay, that would have been amazing.
Like, that would have been funny. It was just florals, which is like a normal thing. I don't know so. But
agree.
I was like, oh, it was a missed opportunity, I feel like, to make it like really funny. So it bothered me. But anyway, so they're settling in the room and they're like, oh my gosh, we're so hungry. Let's go. So it flashes to them at the top of the stairs. They're about to go down, but they stop. And there's a ton of people in the lobby all of a sudden. Not a lot of time has passed from when they went upstairs to going downstairs, and all of a sudden, like, there's like a lot of people down there. And Lorelai's like, oh my gosh, it's Boston dentists. How did she know that?
Yeah. Can we let's pause. How did she know that? Like, that was bothered me in the moment. I was like, I thought she was like making a joke at first. Then it like kind of almost was like, no, that actually is what they are. And then it's like, wait, what? How did you know that that's who that is? Like, there's a conference of Boston dentists here or something that you magically just know about all of a sudden?
Yeah, they cut a line somewhere.
Yeah, like maybe like when they were checking in, like there was supposed to be a line about like, oh, and we have a convention here or something like that.
Something that would like
would have explained
imply,
that.
Yes. There was nothing. So also she's like, oh, Boston dentist. It's like, what? You have
like what? It's just a group of people. Yeah, it was just like some people in the lobby.
It's cocktail hour in the Cheshire Cat. She's like, we can't go down there. If we do, they'll clamp onto us like leeches, which means chit-chat, stomach-turning, mind-numbing, soul-deadening chit-chat. Rory's like, okay, look, I'm starving. You can stay up here, but I'm going down there. I'm getting some food. I'm freaking hungry.
Yeah.
And Lorelai's like, oh, you're that hungry? Hungry enough to answer 100 probing but only slightly differentiated from each other questions about Chilton, life in a small town, and your hunky boyfriend? And this statement convinces Rory to go back upstairs. Okay.
Your daughter's hungry. Go get her some freaking food.
Right. That was my first thought. You have dragged her on this spontaneous road trip that she's already like uncomfortable on. Honestly, she's already like, I don't even want to, this is like stressing me out, but I'm doing this for you. And now she's stated she's hungry multiple times. She's starving. She needs to eat something. And you're like, no, we can't go get food because we have to talk to people for a little bit.
What is that? No. Like, what are you doing? This is one of the examples of why I'm like, I was annoyed at Lorelai this entire episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Second thing is, did they have to eat in the establishment? Like, they couldn't leave and go get food somewhere else? Like, they couldn't just walk through to the front door and leave? Also, why is she that worried about making small talk with people? Because she thinks that these people are going to be like the people from her childhood. She doesn't like that type of crowd, I'm guessing.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
That's what I thought. That's what I interpreted of why she didn't want to talk with them. Because it's like, it's not like she doesn't like talking to people.
You don't know these people. You have no idea. I mean, yeah, LaDawn's a little not your speed, but like...
I thought that she somehow thought they were going to be like that kind of a crowd. And she doesn't like that kind of person. And that's why she was doing that. That's what I thought. I don't know.
I don't know. It was just so like, I was with you. I'm like, just go down there. Yeah, they might be like, oh, and try to talk to you and just be like, we gotta go and run away. They can't like stop you. Rory makes a comment about that. She's like, they're not like ninjas or something. They're not gonna like, or they're not assassins. That's what she said.
Yeah,
Rory's like, they're not assassins.
It's like, just go downstairs, leave the B&B and go get food somewhere else if you don't want to eat there.
So that was strange. And then also, she says, your hunky boyfriend, and called Dean hunky twice. So that's
also weird.
Anytime she references Dean in any other way that's like not just like a standard comment about your daughter's boyfriend, I'm like, hey.
Why does that remind me of the seals from...
It is.
Oh, okay.
It's everyone, it's
Gerald.
Well, it's from Finding Dory, but also Finding Nemo when the crab is trying not to get eaten by the mine seagulls. He's like, hey. Like, yeah, I've been watching Finding Nemo on repeat because it's my son's favorite movie right now. Like, he absolutely loves it. And it's gotten to a point where, like, I'm quoting it in my sleep. Like, it's like that, you know.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's an amazing movie. I love it. I'm discovering new meaning every time I watch it. Like, that's how much I've been watching it. It's too much. So the quotes are coming out.
Yeah. Anyway. Yes. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So that was upsetting. But she convinces Rory not to go down there and they go back upstairs. So they're back in their room. They're sitting on the bed, kind of just chilling. Lorelai finds a 50-year-old shirt's mint at the bottom of her bag or something and is like, it's fuzzy, blah. And they don't have any food.
Yeah. And she's like resorting to eating candy out of the bottom of her purse. And it's like, you guys couldn't just go get food. Like, there's nothing keeping you from going to get food.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say, didn't they buy a bunch of bags of nuts? Maybe it's in their car.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they left it in the car.
That's the only thing I can think of. Like, don't you have a bunch of nuts from your trip? You could eat the nuts at least. Have something if you're refusing to go downstairs. But they don't have anything.
That was their lunch. They ate it already.
Maybe it was. And as they're sitting on the bed, they hear a bunch of people downstairs playing the piano and singing. And they're like, oh my God, they're doing all the B&B-er things and blah, blah, blah. Lorelai's like, maybe they'll finish with a mass suicide. I was like, that's distasteful.
Yeah.
There were a ton of jokes in this episode that I was like, these are just kind of distasteful and rude. I didn't care for them. I really didn't care for them. Things Lorelai was saying throughout this episode, I was like, it made me uncomfortable. I didn't like that. But they're cranky, they're tired, they're hungry. they're trying to figure out what to do next. And like, well, maybe we should go to sleep, but it's only 8:23. So like, okay. And then Rory's like, well, maybe we can talk. So Lorelai's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, let's talk. Let's talk. What about? And Rory goes, oh, I don't know, Max? Elephant in the room? What,
Like, what happened?
What's going on? And Lorelai immediately is like, no, I don't want to talk about that. Rory's like, but you said we could talk. And Lorelai says, yeah, I thought you meant about makeup or something. Rory's like, when have we ever talked about makeup? Lorelai says, never. That's why I thought now was a good time. But Rory keeps trying to push, and Lorelai is shutting it down. She's like, good night, Rory. Turns off the light. Won't even entertain this. But Rory is determined, turns the light back on, and she's like, are you sure you're not just running scared? Because I think you really love him, but you just freaked out and you don't know what to do. Because you did this before with Max, in fact. Like, you've done this. Lorelai's like, Rory, stop it. She's getting real angry and yelling, like, I don't want to talk about this. I thought by saying enough and turning off the light that you would get the message. But Rory's like, come on. Like, I'm asking you a question. Like, you have to answer this. Lorelai says, I'm a grown woman. Rory says the woman with the Hello Kitty waffle iron.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Rory.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. What's with the Hello Kitty stuff that you got?
Weird.
It's a little strange, but okay. Rory goes, I thought I was your best friend. And Lorelai says, yeah, when we're at a U2 concert, but right now you're my 16-year-old daughter, and I do not want to have this conversation. But Rory goes on, everything was planned. Everyone was excited, including you. And then all of a sudden you're out? Lorelai says she changed her mind. And Rory goes, this is our life that you just tossed off. We had plans. We made space in the closet. Lorelai's like, oh, Rory, come on. Just because we moved a couple of boxes is not reason enough for me to get married. And Rory's like, Max was counting on this. I was counting on this. And Lorelai is just like, Rory, stop it. We're not going to have this fight in a flowery bedroom with dentists singing gypsy tramps and thieves in the background. And Rory's like, you love him. I think you love him. And you got scared and you ran, but you're going to really regret it, and soon. And she's like, Rory, go to bed. And so Rory says, fine. She shuts off the light and they turn over. And then Lorelai says, I'm sure. I wish I did love him. You have no idea how much. We need to talk about this fight.
Once again, is Rory more mature than her own mom?
Yes. So Rory makes a lot of good points here.
Yes, she does.
Lorelai was so concerned about how this relationship with Max would affect Rory.
Yes.
She ended up doing the thing that she was afraid of.
Which is like getting Rory's hopes up for like a new family dynamic.
Yeah.
And then
like
falling apart.
Yeah, and like her having a relationship with this person and then them not being in their life. If I was Rory, I'd be really upset right now because you were counting on this. This was your new life that you were like getting ready for. And Rory was excited about it. She was like, yeah, everything's cool.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm happy. And Lorelai did a very immature thing in the fact that, okay, fine. She realizes, okay, I shouldn't be marrying this person. Like, that's fine. But just running away and then not talking about it, it's like, that's really hurtful to your child.
Especially because it was like she wanted to talk about it. She's bringing it up like, I want to talk about it and wants to know what happened, right? And then she's just like, no.
She's like, no, go to bed. I'm not talking about this. What?
It's a weird shift in like her view of things too, and like how to parent and everything, because I feel like everything leading up to this has been very much like, oh, I need to talk to Rory. I need to talk to Rory. I need to talk to Rory. Right?
Yes.
And now all of a sudden it's like, no, I don't want to talk to anybody. And also as the viewer, I want to know what happened. Okay, selfishly,
and also,
I want to know what happened as the viewer. And I wasn't given that, okay? It's like you just dragged her on this weird trip. You didn't let her eat dinner. She's starving. Wants to answer some answers. You won't talk about it. You're being a jerk.
Yeah. And I don't care for it. Yeah, this fight upset me. All it ends is with, I wish I loved him. You have no idea how much, but I'm sure about this. That gives no answers to anything.
Right.
Even the next morning, there's a quick little like, last night we fought, and it's like, we're good. And it's like, are you though?
Are you? Because you still haven't had that conversation, which seems like a very important and necessary conversation to have.
Yes, nothing's really been resolved. You're just like, we're going to move on and forget that happened. It's the next morning. They're getting ready for the day. Lorelai's still freaked out by the wallpaper. It's just floral wallpaper. And then we find out that Lorelai apparently wrote in the guest book. She wrote, satanic forces are at work here. Rory's like, you can't write that. So Rory's like, what if we write this? Sat and forever am at work here. What?
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
I think that's the point. It's supposed to sound like something, but it means nothing.
Okay.
I think that is the point.
All right. I didn't get, I was like, what?
But yeah, this is when they're like, hey, last night, we're good. Yeah, it's fine. And then Lorelai says, you know what isn't good? I ate the fuzzy certs. And they're like, oh, God, I'm starving. Yeah, they haven't eaten for 24 hours. So okay, let's check the schedule. What's going on at the B&B? And the morning started with an early morning nature walk. And then there's this regional history walk. But breakfast just ended and arts and crafts aren't starting for another 13 minutes. They have a window. They're like, let's go. So they run downstairs, but they're spotted by LaDawn and the other B&B goers. And they're like, oh, there you are. We were worried about you two. Oh my gosh. All of them are crowded around this window. And Lorelai is like, what are you guys doing? They're all watching a bunch of hummingbirds. There's a guy that turns back and he's like, it's an engineering marvel. And he's just like, oh, the hummingbirds. Wow. And Lorelai is like, oh, this wasn't on the frickin' list. And LaDawn's like, we don't put things like this on the frickin' list.
I wrote that one down. We don't put things like this on the freaking list because the delights of nature aren't on any time schedule. It's like LaDawn.
I was laughing so hard. Just the way she said it was so good.
I know. She was completely unfazed by that and just incorporated that word into her own speech, which was like, what?
Cadence. We don't put things like this on the frickin' list. Yeah. It was so good. She had this manic energy about her. And so her and the goers, they're like, oh, come over. We're going to make some fresh scones. We just brought out the first test batch. Have a little taste. They're so hungry that they're like, okay, well, maybe just a quick taste. So they sit down with LaDawn and this couple. The lady of the couple is like, oh, so LaDawn says you're in publishing. And Lorelai's like, what? And she's like, publishing? You're in publishing? And Lorelai's like, oh, yeah. And the man's like, oh, you need to find a career with less paperwork. And I was like, yeah, oh, good one. Ha ha ha. The lady's like, so what do you publish? And Lorelai says, oh, yeah, mainly youth-oriented books. She's just making stuff on the spot. And he's like, oh, children's books. Have I heard of any? This lady's pushing for titles. She's like, tell me.
She just brings out this notepad and is like, just tell me the titles and I'll write them down and I'll make sure to look them up when I get home so I can
read them to my grandson.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God.
And Lorelai's like, oh, okay. And of course, their mouths are full with scones while they're doing this too, right? So she's like, oh, yeah, there's Goodnight Spoon, the horse that wanted to bark. And this lady's like, I think I've read that one to my grandson. The horse learns to bark. And then what happens? And Lorelai goes, he dies. And they just stare at her. And Rory's like, but he learned to bark. So it's actually an upper. Okay. And this lady's like, okay, so where are your offices? And Lorelai's like, oh, they're just on the building in the road over there. I need to go. Excuse me. She's like, excuse me, guys, for just a second. I need to make a very important phone call concerning publishing. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, go. And Rory's like, what? Please don't leave me over here. And they're like, go. It'll give us a chance to get to know your lovely daughter. She's so quiet, but we'll change all of that. And they laugh a little. They're like, whoa. It's like,
oh my God.
This is a little creepy. This is when things are getting a little spookier.
Yeah.
And so Rory's left there and they're like, oh, so tell us about your school. Rory's like, oh God.
It's like, this is what I was warned about.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Lorelai calls Suki to check in on how things are going over there. And she's at Luke's. She's like, and there's a bit of a show happening over here. Luke is fighting with Kirk over how long he's been there. He's gotten a bunch of refills and not paying for the coffee. And they're just fighting about this. And Lorelai asks about how the spreading of the news is going. And Suki says, great. It worked just how you wanted with one notable exception. And Lorelai says, who? Then all Suki says is, well, he's such a loner and the news hasn't gotten to him. She doesn't actually say Luke. She just says that line. And it's like, the assumption is made that that's Luke. And it's like, he's not that much of a loner.
He runs a cafe that the whole town goes in every day. I feel like
sound like he's like a guy that lives in that abandoned house down the road.
He's just living alone. Yes. He's like a hermit.
He doesn't a hermit type. Yes. He's just over there woodworking, but doesn't do much,
Yes.
everyone goes. Miss Patty
like,
goes
off the
there.
grid.
Yes, he's off the grid in the woods or something. Like,
yeah. No, he's like in town. He sees people. They're all talking in his shop all day. Like,
he's not that much of a loner.
Yeah.
So this just doesn't even make any sense. But apparently it's assumed that it's Luke that she's talking about. So Lorelai's like, okay, can you just tell him now so I can be done? Just tell him. So he's like, okay. Yeah. So she's like, okay, well, Luke, have you heard the latest news? It's kind of sad about Lorelai and Max. He's like, what about them? She's like, well, the wedding's off. And he quickly looks up like, what? What happened? He finds out that she's on the phone. He doesn't really know what happened, but he's like, well, oh gosh, well, just tell her I'm sorry. That's tough. Lorelai, says thanks and hangs up. But we're still in Luke's. And we see all of a sudden, Luke is a lot more chipper.
Yeah, and he's like being nice to people.
Yes.
The classic, like how he's like normally grumpy, but he's like not being grumpy. Like he's like giving people free coffee.
Oh, Kirk, you want another refill? It's on the house. Yeah, here you go. Everyone, here's more refills of coffee. Yeah. All of a sudden, Suki's like shaking her head like, you.
Yeah, Suki's right there. She's like, you
little you. That was her vibe, though.
It was.
Like, oh, you.
It was.
Someone's excited that the wedding is off. You.
I feel like I have to have the last you.
You do. You always do.
I know. I don't know why. It's a compulsion, okay? It's so fun.
Do it with us, everyone. You. Trust me. Just try it. When we start doing it, just start doing it. Like, wag your finger and shake your head a little bit and just be like, you. You little you. At your own flares. I don't know. Trust me. It's fun. Try it.
At your own flares.
But we're back at the table with Rory being questioned by the group. They're like, oh, you should meet our grandson. He's a freshman at Brown. And the guy's like, he majors in MTV. And she's like, you're horrible. Oh. And he's like, honey, we don't even know if she's on the market. Rory's like, oh, I'm off the market. I am definitely off the market. And like, oh, she has a boyfriend. Wow. And Lorelai returns and Rory's like, Mom, I saved you a scone. You still love me, right? So Lorelai's like, okay, I gotta take her away now. And they go off. And Rory's like, now I have abandonment issues. They're both like, okay, so what should we do? They don't know. Lorelai knows Rory's been hiding a map in her pants. And
I know you've been hiding a map in your pants. I don't know if she
didn't say
exactly
pants.
Like that.
I say in her pants because it was this big map that Rory just pulls out from the back of her pants.
Wait, was it actually in her pants?
It was in her pants.
It was stuck.
Okay, maybe
I don't know.
In the back
she
of her
pulled
sweatshirt.
It out of nowhere, and
it was out of nowhere. So I'm like, it was in the back of your pants. You were hiding it in the back, basically in your butt area, basically.
It was a huge map.
It was huge.
It's where was that?
Exactly. I was like, it's just in your pants. Anyway. But Rory pulls out the map, and they're naming different cities in Massachusetts. They could go to Salem, they could go to Boston, Newton, Needham. And Lorelai goes, wait, I know where we're going. Rory's like, we should chart a course.
Chart a course.
Chart a course. That's a C term.
It is.
Okay. Okay.
I think so. I thought I had
it feels
that thought
sea-like.
Too. It's charting means charting the stars, which you do at sea.
Okay.
Because you have no landmarks.
Yeah. But Lorelai's like, no, we're being spontaneous. And then crushes Rory's map. She folds it the wrong way, and Rory gets upset.
I don't know if I have some slight OCD or something, but this scene bothered me. When she folded the map all wrong and
physically
it was
cringed.
It was ugh, why did you do that to the map? I think Rory felt the same way.
I think she
was
did.
like, you folded it wrong. That's how I also felt that. I was like, she folded it
she just kind of crushed it together. I think maybe on a lesser extent, but I did feel that way too a little bit. Oh, come on. I was more oh, you made Rory upset by doing that. Versus having a physical response to the map. I know. You were upset about the map. I was more
upset about Rory.
I was like, oh.
I was with Rory in being upset about the map. That's what I was saying.
But it was annoying. I was like, come on. But she's like, come on. I know where we're going. And they go off. And then we flash. And the nice la-las are playing. La-tu, la-tu, la-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la-la-la. Where you're like, oh, I feel warm.
I actually know that Lala song now.
That was impressive. Guys.
The Lala song.
She's learning. She's learning. They're here.
Wait, it's Poltergeist. Yeah, and when it started playing, I was like, oh, and I liked it, and I recognized it, and I was like, oh, it's happening.
It's begun. But where are we? We are standing in front of the Harvard campus grounds entrance, the entrance to Harvard, showing Rory and Lorelai in front of that. I feel like that's a very iconic image.
It felt that way watching it. Like I didn't know that, but it just the way it was presented, and with the lalas and everything, it just felt very notable. Like
yes, this is like one of those notable standout moments of like, oh, they're standing in front of Harvard and looking up at it. It's very like iconic in the show, and so this is a big moment. They're at Harvard. Rory's dream is to go to Harvard, and she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm actually here. This is so exciting. She's kind of just taking it all in, and Lorelai's like, okay, let's go inside. And Rory's like, you can't just go inside. This is Harvard. Like, you need a guide. Lorelai's like, I'll be your guide. Like, let's go. Let's get in there. So they step into the gates, and they're both just very excited. This is cool. We fade to Lorelai and Rory walking around campus. They found some informational packets. Lorelai's reading some facts about who went there and things that were discovered by people that went to Harvard. And Lorelai finds a fact that they get over 18,000 applicants a year and only 2,000 get in. She's like, those are not good odds. Rory's like, Mom. She's like, no, you're different. It's fine.
You're different. You don't have to worry about it.
They're just talking about all those things, and they stumble upon one of those like listing boards. What's the name for that? I couldn't.
Listing board. It's there's a bulletin board.
It's a bulletin board with listings.
Yeah, it's the classic like on campus, like, oh, I'm looking for a roommate. Oh, part-time job.
Where there's
something.
Yeah, there's like a bulletin of like advertisements and things.
Yeah.
They stumble upon it, as well as a coffee cart. And Rory's just like, oh my gosh, I'm ordering coffee at Harvard. This is so cool. And she goes over to the coffee cart, and Lorelai's excited. Lorelai's looking at the bulletin board and like, oh, there's people looking for roommates. Want a girl to share a 2-bedroom apartment, quiet street, quiet building, so quiet roommate is a must. And then Lorelai goes, join a convent and cloister yourself, you loser. This is again,
like what?
The comments that I was like, these are like off-putting and rude. I did not care for her comments throughout this episode. They weren't funny. They felt rude and like mean. This is another one. Anyway, Rory's like, this is irrelevant right now. I'm not even close to going to school. Like, I don't need to get a roommate. And Lorelai's like, this is not for you. It's for me. I need to have a room nearby so I can visit. Rory's like, how often are you going to visit? Lorelai goes, I don't know. Every other day. And Rory just like doesn't respond, but like gives this like face of like, I'm scared. Like, oh God. That was funny. Rory heads back over to the coffee cart, and then a college kid approaches the bulletin board and notices Lorelai. He's like, man, there's a lot of postings here. Are you looking for a place to live? And she's like, oh, yeah, maybe. And he's like, yeah, there's a lot of choices. Something for everybody. She goes like, yeah, unless you're one of those existentialists who can't really figure out what they want. And he's like, oh, good point. And he's like, hey. Hey. I think we have class together. Contract law, Professor Shefferson. Shefferson. And she's like, oh yeah, chef's class. And he's like, yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you. Hi. And they're like, hi. And then he asks if she likes the class. She's like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, yeah, he's got a monotone voice. If I don't calf up, he puts me right to sleep. They're kind of talking about that. And he's like, okay, well, I'll see you in class. And maybe that Phi Cap party tonight. And she's like, Ginchi. And then he walks away. Okay.
Julia's rubbing her eyes right now. She's like,
like I'm like stressed.
First thing, which you're gonna be like, that's the first thing. Is he a grad student?
That was my first thing. Okay. Where I'm like, okay, let's try to logic our way through this.
Yes, he's in the law school. He's in Harvard law
school
because he's talking about a very specific law class, which you wouldn't take as an undergrad.
Right. So you're right, because I didn't even think of that, but I was like, he could be at the upper end of like the undergrad. So I'm like, okay, so maybe he's like 21, 22, but maybe he's a grad student.
I think he's a law student.
Okay, so he's in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
I'm going to say. Okay.
Makes it slightly less weird. I think that was the implication.
I will go with that and not be like, why, Lorelai, are you flirting with
an undergrad college student?
Yes.
That's weird.
That is inappropriate.
So that was the first thing. Second thing is, why are you flirting with somebody right now? Her head is like all over the place.
I think
she's not in a good place.
She's not in a good place.
She's acting really impulsively with no judgment. There's probably a clinical term for what she's going through that I don't know.
That I don't know. And if I had my psych degree, I could diagnose, but I don't.
But you don't.
But man, that would be fun, wouldn't that?
Well, yeah, if you start diagnosing everything Lorelai's doing in this episode. Because she's got some impulsivity is like way off the charts. And I think this falls into that because it does. What?
She's kind of
I know this guy
like
approached you, but like really?
Well, I think what they're trying to do is like she's like having a college experience that she never had because she didn't go to college.
I guess
I don't know.
That did not occur to me the whole time watching it.
There was a little bit of like, oh, some guy's into me. Oh my gosh, I love college. I do well in college. She also said ginchi.
Yeah, I didn't know what that word meant. Did you look it up?
I did. It is a slang term from the late 1950s, early 1960s, meaning cool, neat, or attractive. I kind of liked it after knowing. It was weird to say in the moment, but like outside of that, it's like, that's kind of fun. Ginchi, like, I don't know. That could be fun.
Yeah.
I guess.
I've never heard it before, so
neither have I.
Ginchi.
I
don't know why, but it feels very... Did you say it was from the 60s?
Late 50s, early 60s, yeah. I could see the 60s.
Yeah, I could see, like, weirdly, like it has this like 60s vibe to it.
It does.
I don't know why.
When I found that, I was like, yeah, the colors of the word.
Yes. Or like just the feeling of the
My
word.
synesthesia is like...
It's like, yeah. It like fits the like 60s fashion aesthetic. Like
it does.
For some reason. Like ginchi. Like it's like, okay.
It feels right.
It does.
So I was like, yeah.
Weird thing to experience. And
that's why I think that's why I liked it. I was like, I like that. Because it just like... makes sense.
Okay, I think I like it too.
Ginchi. As they're walking, Rory sees the library and she's like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting because it's the biggest library she's ever seen. We find out it's the oldest library in the United States and the largest academic library in the world. Then Rory starts freaking out because she's like, oh my God, there's 13 million volumes in there and I'll never be able to read that. And Lorelai's like, all right, come on, get away from the library. This is freaking you out. Let's keep going. They flash to their walking. They find a dorm building. They're like, oh, let's go inside. Let's see what it looks like. And so they're walking the halls and she's like, quick, get into character. And Rory's like, what? And these two girls approach, like walking down the hallway. And Lorelai goes, oh, hey there. I'm Angie and this is Trish. How's it going? The other girls are like, what? Not bad. Lorelai goes, cool. We're just kind of hanging out between classes. We've got chef next. So we'll probably just see you at that Phi Alpha Beta thing tomorrow. And the girls are like, maybe? And Lorelai goes, yeah, we're not sure either. They can be totally lame. Gag me. And the girls are like, yeah, okay, see ya. And walk away. And Rory makes some comment of like, you realize all your college kid jargon is from like Happy Days, right? But also I was laughing because I'm like, this would be weird even if you did go to school there, you know? Like, even if you were a college-aged kid and you were walking in the halls and you just are walking with your friend and there's another group that's walking up, they're like, oh, hey. And you're like, what? And like, you don't know them.
Yeah, you don't know them. Yes, that would be weird. Like, that's not...
Oh, hey, we're just hanging out. I'd be like, okay.
It's like, why are you talking to me? Like, who is this? Like, that would be like...
Like, I went through that scenario in my head and I was like, I would be scared.
Yeah, I would be... If somebody approached me and was like, hey, my friends and I are hanging out right now. We have this class next. I'd be like, oh my God, like, who are you? Like, get away from me.
Yes. Like, oh my gosh, there's an issue. There's a problem. Like, I don't know.
There's an issue.
You going to that party? Not anymore. If you're going to be there. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass on that one. Anyway, so they stumble upon someone's dorm room. The dorm room is just open, and Lorelai knocks to see if anyone is there. It's like calling out, like, hello, Susie? There's probably someone named Susie in here. And they just walk on in.
Why was the door left open like that?
Never leave your dorm room open like that.
Like, people don't really do, like, unless you're literally sitting right there.
If
like,
if you're there.
Yeah.
Yes, you left your dorm room open. I did that. Yeah, whatever.
Like, if you're there.
If you're there. I never left it open. Just I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom or what. No, you shut that thing. People are weird. They will. There's weird people out there who might just like wander on in and be like, oh, what's this? Snooping around your room.
The snooping again. You're like so sensitive about the snooping.
I'm sensitive about snooping.
Okay, I'm still thinking about the college situation. Like, there was no security in this dorm.
No security. This is back
before that was a thing.
Before you needed a key card to scan in everywhere.
So they just walked in. They just walked into somebody's room.
Yeah, they're just in there. And then Lorelai sits on one of the beds. She's like, wow, this is small, but at least you have two beds. One can be for me. And Rory's like, I think that would be for my roommate. And Lorelai's like, you don't want to do that. You don't have a roommate. And Rory's like, oh, I don't think I have a choice. They just give you one. It's all part of the socializing experience. I didn't have a roommate.
Wait, you didn't have a roommate?
No.
Did I know this?
I don't know.
You got
I got a single. I got a single.
As a freshman?
I did.
Julia.
It was pretty exciting.
That's great. I lucked out and my roommate was super nice and we like never fought. We were like good friends. Like, yeah, she was super nice and like we were in a bunch of the same classes. Like it was actually like totally fine.
Yeah.
And I never had any issues.
Everyone's case.
I know. No, but that I know. I'm like, everyone around me is like, my roommate. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I lucked out here.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice. Anyway, so they're talking about all that, and Rory's like, can we get out of here? Like, we're in someone's room. And then Lorelai's like, quick, take a picture at the desk.
She like starts opening this person's like notebook, stop touching everyone's stuff.
But they finally head out, and then the girl that lives there like walks back to about to go into the room right as they're heading out, and they're like, okay, bye, Susie. And this girl's just very confused, and she's like, what? But then she's like, okay, and just like walks in the room. She's like, kind of unfazed by it a little bit. I'm like,
like, why is she unfazed by the fact that these two strange girls just like came out of your room?
I don't know. We then flash to Lorelai and Rory are walking through classroom halls and they hear a lecture going on. The door is slightly open, so they pop their head in. And we hear the professor say, now, what is he postulating beyond fatalism? You know, this class felt very like what you think a stereotypical lecture at Harvard might sound like.
Yes.
So Lorelai and Rory peek their head into the classroom. Lorelai's like, are we supposed to be hearing this? She's like, they wouldn't charge you $100 just for listening to part of the class. And Rory goes, I don't think Harvard would nickel and dime people like that, which I think is really funny because they probably would nickel and dime people like that. Yeah. I think that's probably the joke. I just think that was pretty funny. As they're listening, Lorelai says she's going to run to the bathroom, but Rory wants to stay and listen a little bit more. So Rory walks into the classroom and then drops her coffee, spills it everywhere, makes a loud noise. And it was so loud that the whole class, the entire lecture hall and professor stop and like look up at her. And the professor says, in or out. He says, if you're going to take the class, take a seat. So she's like, sorry, okay, and sits down. And thankfully there was a seat right there in this fully packed lecture hall.
Really packed lecture hall.
Philosophy 101.
All freshmen at Harvard have to take Philosophy 101.
Yeah. So she sits down. We flash to Lorelai. She's walking through the halls and she sees a wall with past Harvard valedictorians. And it zooms in on class of 99, Erica Hilson Palmer.
Who was that? Who is that?
We don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. Okay, just want to confirm that I'm not supposed to know who that is.
You are not. Okay. For a split second, I was like, am I supposed to know who that is? No. Lorelai looks sad looking at this picture. I don't think we're supposed to know who it is. I think it's just supposed to invoke this feeling of what could have been. I think that it's kind of been implied that Lorelai was very intelligent. Not saying she isn't now, but just when she was Rory's age, when she was 16, she was top of her class. Richard does say those things. I think she was on track to go to maybe an Ivy League or a very prestigious college. I think what they're trying to invoke in this moment is like, oh, that could have been me. What could I have done if I had been able to pursue college or things like that? That's what I was getting from it.
Yeah, I definitely got all of that and like kind of a little bit of sadness from it too. Mm-hmm. I was thinking like maybe this person is somebody that she like went to high school with, and that's kind of what I like assumed. Like either we've met this person at like Rory's birthday party at the grandparents' house or something, and I just don't remember, or we're gonna find out that this is somebody that like she went to school with that's her age or something like that. That she's kind of comparing herself to, like, oh wow, like maybe I could have been one of these people on this wall, like, I don't know.
Right. And I think, again, I don't necessarily think we know who this person is. I think it's just that it's like, oh, that could have been me. I think you do feel that emotion in that moment. Like, oh, we see Rory about to experience college or what that's going to be like. And Lorelai never did. Lorelai never got to have that experience, which is sad.
Yeah,
in its own way, and not to say that she's had a bad life or anything like that. She's had a very good life, I think, and has been successful in what she's done. But if it's something that in the back of your head you wanted to do, that is sad.
It can be sad, but she can also still have been successful and like have done good things with her life, right? Like,
right. Those things are not.
But yeah, those things aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think college, that time is a really unique experience. for people. So like
It is.
nice to have the opportunity to do that when when you have the opportunity. It's nice to be able to do that and experience that phase of your life,
But as she's looking at these photos, she can hear Rory talking. So she goes to look for her, pops her head back in the classroom, and Rory is participating in the class. She says, "That's an interesting point, Professor, but I don't know if I agree with you, because Stoicism was not about giving up things of money and luxuries and stuff." Professor says that's right. By the time he was in his early 40s, Seneca had earned enough money to acquire villas, farms, ate well, and he loved expensive furniture, but he didn't consider that a non-philosophical way to live. Then Rory says it's all kind of relative, though. And then there's a kid in the class that turns around and he's like, "Oh, here we go." He says, "We can't get through a class without debating relativism." And Rory's like, "Oh, I just meant that luxury to some is not always a luxury to others." And the professor says, "A better subject for another time." And then she apologizes. And he says, "No, your point is well taken, but it's different than the matter at hand." And then Rory sees Lorelai looking for her. And then she taps that kid that says, "Oh, here we go." She taps him on the shoulder and says, "Thanks, this was fun," and leaves. Then he's kind of like, "What?" Imagine you're that kid. Like,
I know.
I don't even know what to think. You're like, did I see a ghost? Or like, what was
Did
that?
I see a ghost? There's someone in your class and they're like, "Thanks, this was fun." You're like, "What?"
And gets up and
Why
leaves.
What?
I feel like that moment would sit with him for the rest of his life. Like, I would not forget that.
That would be like life changing.
Not even life changing, but you would constantly question, like, who was that?
Okay, that I believe.
You know?
You're like, who was that? And then you never see them again.
You just question, like, who?
Like somebody came in and started debating with the professor.
Yes.
And then I made a comment and then they told me, "Thanks, this was fun," and then left.
Like, that would stay with me for a while, and I would remember that for the rest of my life. I think.
I will say, like, I don't know if different schools are like this. I think when I was in college, people tended to not like people that yelled out in the middle of a big lecture like that, like, and started like debating things with the professor, because people would do that. Like, I remember that being a thing, like certain individuals, and then those individuals like gained a reputation of being people that did that.
I don't know. I haven't had this experience really.
Oh, it was just me. Okay.
And if I did, I don't remember. I was just kept quiet. If people wanted to debate, go let them do it.
You don't remember anybody ever like debating with like a professor in college?
A little bit. Like, I have the vaguest memory of one of my business classes. There was a kid that he came in the first day being like, "Well, I know this," and the professor was like, "Okay, but that's not what we're talking about." Like, there was that. Like, I do have that memory. Okay. And I don't even remember him showing up to class as much after that.
Shows up for birthday class. "Well, I know this." Okay, that's not what this class is about.
It was that type of thing. And then he wasn't the same, after that. Anyway, Rory says this was fun, and she leaves the classroom. To Lorelai, she's like, "Did you see me? I was in college. Did I look like I belonged?" And she's like, "I don't even know how it happened. The professor was asking a question, and then I was talking, and it was crazy." Like, oh my gosh, she's just so excited. College is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I already love college. And as they're leaving, Lorelai pauses and stares at the valedictorian pictures again. She's thinking. There's a lot of thoughts happening in her head. But we flash back to the Cheshire Cat. We see LaDawn. She's carrying the girls' bags back down the stairs, all 50 of them. Lorelai and Rory have all their Harvard swag on. Lorelai notices that Sammy the cat is not on the stairs. LaDawn is like, "What, my Sammy?" "Oh, she's rarely ever on the stairs." "On the stairs? No. Her favorite place is somewhere else, but not on the stairs." And Lorelai is like getting frustrated because she's like, there has not been one moment our entire stay that Sammy has not been on the stairs. And LaDawn's like, "On the stairs? No. She's hardly ever on the stairs." And Rory's like, "Just forget it. Let it go."
This was a spooky moment for me.
Okay.
This was like, is the cat a ghost? Like, or is LaDawn hallucinating? Like, I was like, something is happening with this cat.
What happened to Sammy the cat?
Where is Sammy? He was on the stairs.
Yeah.
We all saw it.
Yeah. We all saw it. They made points to point out Sammy multiple times on the stairs. And she even said, "Watch out for Sammy," as they were walking up the stairs.
She said, "Oh, watch out for Sammy." So she knows that Sammy goes to the stairs. And now it's being hidden. It's not being acknowledged. What's going on here?
Only conclusion I can come to is they somehow are now on a different timeline.
A timeline, like they had a timeline shift.
Yeah.
Like one of those.
What
like
is
a
that?
timeline jump.
What are the...
It's called something.
Oh, shoot.
I can't remember what it's called, but we both know what we're talking about.
It's the whole Marvel universe.
Like the multiverse dimensions.
Yes, different dimensional timeline.
Yeah.
That's the only obvious explanation that I can think of.
I agree. There was evidence of a multiverse in this episode, guys. So that's my spooky moment.
Okay. Sammy's disappeared from the stairs. And LaDawn is denying that he was ever there.
On the stairs. Have you heard of the Mandela effect?
I have, but please explain it.
It's when like a bunch of people have the same memory of something existing like in the past, but like then you go, there's like no evidence that thing ever existed, but all these people remember it.
Yes.
There's all these examples. You go online and like search this. It's actually really fun to like
it is
find this stuff and be like, wait, I think I remember that too. And it's like, that's not real. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like what causes that? It's very weird.
I think the most recent one that I experienced was Cheez-Its versus Cheez-It. What do you think it is?
Wait, what do you mean?
What's the brand name? Is it Cheez-It or Cheez-Its with a Z?
Cheez-Its with a Z?
Okay, go look it up.
I'm so scared right now.
I thought it was Cheez-Its with a Z as well.
It's not?
Apparently it's Cheez-It.
What?
Yeah.
That's such a perfect example. I was going to say the one for me is the Fruit of the Loom. Their logo. Do you know what the logo is?
It's a cornucopia of fruit.
This is incredible.
It's not.
Supposedly, it's just fruit, and the cornucopia never existed, but everyone remembers a cornucopia. There's no cornucopia in the logo. But I also remember there being a cornucopia in their logo, like a cornucopia with fruit in front of it, right? Or like fruit in it.
I remember a cornucopia.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, you look this up, the logo supposedly has never had a cornucopia. But, like, a ton of people remember there being one. It's the weirdest thing, me included.
So that's what's happening here.
Yeah, is this a Mandela effect?
We all remember Sammy.
We all remember Sammy on the stairs. But Sammy's never been on the stairs. I don't know.
Anyway, there was a debate about if Sammy was there. They go to check out. LaDawn is like, did you enjoy your stay? Lorelai says, I sat and am forever at work here.
Just like pulls that out again. Like,
and LaDawn's like, what? Like, oh, forget it. And she's like, okay, well, drive safe and tell all your friends about the Cheshire Cat. As soon as you leave, I'm going to do my favorite part of the job, which is read what you wrote in the guest book. And Lorelai's like, okay, give us a 5-minute head start.
Yeah.
Before you do that. But we flash to Lorelai and Rory driving home. You can see their car is filled with Harvard swag. They got hats and shirts and pillows and banners and cups and one of those little like porcelain models of the front entrance of Harvard. It's in their dashboard. They bought everything that you could possibly buy. And they're pulling through to Stars Hollow. And Lorelai is like, every time I leave town, even just for a little bit, I always expect everything to look different, but it never does. They start seeing members of the town coming out as they drive
coming
by.
out of the woodwork and like, giving them like a funeral salute. Like,
like putting their hands over their hearts. Miss Patty holds up a tissue and starts dabbing at her eyes. Kirk calls out. He's like, do you need a hug? Lorelai's like, okay. Miss Patty did a good job, but they arrive to their house. They pull in their driveway. They're trying to think about dinner, what that could be, and then they see the chuppah. It's still in the front of the house. They forgot that was there and say, yeah, well, everything's the same. Rory comforts her mom a bit, and Lorelai goes out and stands under it and starts to cry. I think she's finally facing the reality of what's happening. Again, where is Max?
Where is Max? Has she talked to him? Or did she just declare the wedding was over? I declare bankruptcy. You know, like that.
I declare bankruptcy. One of the best lines of The Office ever. Oh my God. And Oscar being like, you can't just declare bankruptcy and expect something to happen.
You can't just declare bankruptcy like that and expect something to happen.
Oh my God. I gotta watch The Office again.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, so good.
But
I think it was type of thing where she was like, the wedding is off.
The wedding is off.
We'll just figure it out. At this point, I don't think she has called Max. I don't think Max knows that the wedding is over. The wedding hasn't happened yet. The wedding date has not happened yet. And we know that because we flash to Friday night dinner Lorelai is presenting pictures from their trip to Harvard to Emily on a whole projector screen. They got all that out, slides with super blurry pictures. Emily's like, this is giving me glaucoma. They show Emily a picture of a squirrel. And Emily's like, this is ridiculous. Emily stops and thinks, and she's like, why did you go out of town so soon before your wedding? Didn't your fiancé mind? You act as if this coming weekend is just business as usual and not the most important day of your life. And Lorelai stops and says, well, about this weekend, I should have told you before. And then Emily stands up. She's like, oh my God, you didn't. You did. And you're like, wait, what does she know?
Yeah. What does she think she knows?
And goes, you eloped. I knew it. I knew you'd do anything to keep me out of this wedding. This is just cruel, Lorelai. A mother waits and plans for this day, even your own mother. I bought a new dress. I got my hair done. And tonight you just waltz in here, torture me for hours with these ridiculous slides, only to let me know that last minute. And Lorelai cuts in and says, Mom, Max and I are not together anymore. The wedding is off. Emily is shocked and says, are you sure? Who called it off? And Lorelai says, I did. And Emily just takes that in for a moment. Lorelai says, you're thinking, I'm not surprised. You're thinking, yes, I won that $5 from Dad. And then Emily tries to change the subject to dessert. And Lorelai says, come on, just tell me what you're thinking. Emily says, I was thinking, I guess I have to return your gift. And then kind of just changes the subject. And Lorelai wants to know what her mom got her. It starts pushing and tries to guess. She's like, iced teaspoons, corn on the cob holder thingies, or tiny forks. And Emily is going back and forth with her on this. And she's like, I'm not telling you. And you know what? I'm not returning it either. I'm going to pack it away and not let you see or have it until you get married. And Lorelai's like, good. Yeah, like, that's good. That's good. I like that. That's good. Okay. And Lorelai is just pushing. Emily won't tell her. And Rory's just sitting there reading, being like, okay. We don't see the rest of the night. We flash to Sarah's Hollow. Lorelai and Rory are pulling back in. They park right outside of Luke's. And we hear in the distance, Rory! And it's Lane.
Lane!
She's escaped from Korea. She's come home.
She made it home.
They never thought this day would come. Lane asks, did you get my letters? And Rory says, yeah. She goes, the first one was a little intense, though. It says, Korea equals death with a bunch of exclamation points and your very sad face plastered all over it. Wow. Okay. And then Lane says, it turns out she actually had a good time. It was an open-ended plane ticket, which was just to save money. And she kind of overreacted.
Wow. No way. You overreacted and your parents weren't trying to get you disappeared? Like... Okay, the luggage was funny, though.
The luggage was hilarious. Yeah, I think she kind of just took what her parents said, like, out of context and out of proportion and went a little crazy. But she's home now.
We're all glad we didn't have to give your picture to the FBI.
Yes.
Lane. Thanks for preparing that kit.
We didn't have to use the Lane retrieval kit.
The Lane retrieval kit, yep.
We flash, we're inside Luke's. Lorelai enters and says, Lewis and Clark have returned. Luke offers her coffee and his condolences and says he was feeling kind of like a jerk. He, was coming down hard on Max. And he says, I was being, what's the word you use? A pickle schnitz? Schnickel Fritz.
Schnickel Fritz.
Comes back again. Lorelai is like, you already apologized. You're great. Don't even worry about it. You already made that chuppah. And he's like, oh my God. Luke's like, oh my God. I left that on your lawn. I am so sorry. I will take that down. I'll go do it right now. And she's like, no, it's okay. It's beautiful. I think I'll keep it.
Luke, it's beautiful. You made it for me.
You made it for me. It doesn't have to be a wedding gift. It can just be a beautiful archway in our yard. Okay.
Okay, Lorelai. Okay. Okay. That's all I have to say to that.
So he accepts that. He's like, all right. And he asks where they went. And she tells them about how they went to Harvard and how Rory loved it. She was right at home. Luke asks her how she's taking it. How are you feeling about it? And Lorelai loved it, but she also hated it. While she was there, had so many thoughts about her life then and now, what she missed and what she'll never have and what she wants to have. So she starts asking Luke about lines of credit and says it's time to make a move. Suki and I are finally going to open that in. I mean it. I'm going to do it. We've been talking about it and dreaming about it, and it's finally time to get going on it. And Luke says, yeah, go for it if the timing is right. She says, you think I can hack being a business owner? And he says, I think you can hack anything. And he offers to help her. He says she can pick his brain on the business and such. And she's like, all right, cool. And says, thank you. And he says, let me know when you need help with the chuppah. And she says, all right. and goes, and he's just smiling.
He's just happy.
Her wedding is off. He still has a chance with her.
Yep.
He's going to help her with her business.
He's going to help her with her business. She wants to keep the huppa that he made.
He's going to keep it as a piece of her house. It's good times for Luke.
Good times for Luke, yeah.
We're back outside. Lane and Rory are talking and telling Lane about Harvard and everything. And Rory wants to go to Lane's and just catch up with her for a bit and says, okay, I'll meet you back at the house. As Lorelai is leaving, she picks up her phone. And for a split second, it's like, is she going to call Max? There's been multiple times she's picked up her phone where I'm like, is she going to call Max now? But no, she calls Suki again for the third time and says, we're back and it's time to start moving on this in thing. I mean it. We're going to take serious steps. We're ready. And they plan to talk about it more and they're both excited. And it fades to the credits. She never calls Max about the wedding. This is never addressed. It is never addressed. And this is something that this has bothered me my infinite times watching this show. Where I'm like, how the frick did Max find out that the wedding was called off?
I'm also bothered. This is my first time watching the show. I was immediately bothered as soon as it was like, wait a minute. Did you talk to Max? Did you not talk to Max? Like in the last episode.
I know, you brought it up. And I was like, I'm not going to say anything yet.
Like, I'm not going to say anything. Like, okay, now we've watched this episode and now it's like, yep, the wedding's off and we're moving on. Where is the conversation? The conversation needed to happen at some point. Someone needed to tell him that the wedding was off. And I would think that like it was you and not somebody else.
I hope it wasn't Miss Patty.
Like, was it Miss Patty? If it was Miss Patty, if you were Max, don't you think you would call Lorelai and be like,
also that.
In this week that we're in the show, there needs to be something showing us how he found out about it, how he reacted to it. I mean, he's a character. I care how he reacted to it. And I thought he and Lorelai were going to have a conversation.
Even just a flash of a scene where he hears about it or there's something and like you sit there with him for a moment where he's sad or something.
Yes.
And then that's it. Fine. But then you know that he knows. And then you never talk to him again. Fine.
Not like he fell off the face of the earth.
Yes.
Like, no, I'm imagining like the worst ways they could do that. That would be better than this. Like he here we go. Think of this in your mind.
Okay.
He drives into Stars Hollow. Rory and Lorelai are walking. No, actually just Lorelai. She's walking on the street. She's just left Luke's or something. And he drives into Stars Hollow and he sees her out of the car and he stops in the middle of the street and he gets out and they just look at each other and they don't say anything and he's just sad. And then he gets back in his car and drives away. That would be better than this.
Where it's just like this unspoken thing where they know that the wedding is off.
Yes. And then they part ways.
That would have been better.
That would have been better than
any
this.
sort of interaction. You know what would have been good? It would have been really good.
What?
He drives up and just gets out of the car and says, do you have the keys? She goes, no, I don't have the keys.
That's good, Julia.
And then it's like this moment where
then they just like are like nodding
and they like have like a sad, like they look down like a, okay. And then he leaves. That would have been like, oh my God. Oh, wouldn't it have been so good?
That would have been impactful, yeah.
That would have been so impactful.
Do you have the keys? Because that was
that was what they
Wait a
last
minute.
fought about.
Was the last interaction that we saw
they had, yes.
on screen? Was that interaction?
Yes. That was the last interaction.
I just realized that.
Yes.
What a weird last interaction.
Exactly. That's it. That's all. That's the last time at this point we have seen Max Medina. She didn't have the keys. She said, I'll have them tomorrow. And then what if in this episode he pulls up and is like,
do you have the keys?
Do you have the keys? And she says no. Because that's pretty on the nose there. So
you got it. That's what they should have done right there. Missed opportunity.
For like a real just like gut punch, In my head, that's what happened. I'm going to rewrite the story in my head so I don't get so angry every time I see this because it always pissed me off. How does he know that the wedding's not happening? He's just going to show up tomorrow?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's just going to show up.
He's in his suit, ready to go. And Lorelai's going to be in her pajamas like, oh, hey, by the way,
I called it off and I told the whole town.
No one's coming. Turn right back around. So.
Anyway, wow. Well, let's do an episode recap.
Yes.
On that note, I want to talk about spooky stuff first.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just do. Sammy on the stairs.
Sammy on the stairs.
Another dimension. Man, that was spooky.
That was spooky. I think we can agree that just the whole Cheshire Cat experience is the spooky moment of the episode.
Yeah.
I think they could have done more, like if like the whole bedroom was like filled with dolls or something like that.
Yes.
Like that would have been hilarious.
Agree.
Not just flowers. Like that flowers aren't scary, when Lorelai like, oh, the flower. It's like, it's fine. But just the whole Cheshire Cat experience, I think is probably the spooky moment of the episode.
Did you have any fashion ins or outs?
Emily's hair. She just looked good. It was done, freshly colored and nicely put together. Like she was ready to be mother of the bride. You know what I mean? Like I got that sense prior to her saying she did that. Like I was like, she looks good. And then she's like, I got my hair done. I was like, I can tell. You're looking good.
Wholesome moment.
I think just their Harvard trip.
Yeah, I think so too.
Whole.
Just the fact they went to Harvard, I thought was great.
Yeah. And Rory was like, I love it. You know,
yeah.
that was good.
That trip, which started out being kind of a negative thing, turned into something positive, honestly, at the end of the day. So that was nice. Quotes of the episode / standout moment. Here's mine. We don't put things like this on the freaking list because the delights of nature aren't on any time schedule.
I just had, we don't put moments like this on the freaking list.
With like a crazy eyes smile.
Yeah.
It's like you have to deliver it a certain way too with your face. Like
it's like hilarious and also spooky and like funny and like all that. It's like Lorelai almost said it under her breath, I feel like. And then Dawn heard her. It was like, we don't put moments like this on the freaking list. Crazy eyes.
Like, oh my God. So good.
So good.
Romantic analysis and predictions. Well, in Lorelai's world, she hasn't called Max. I guess things are being sort of set up for like, oh, is something going to happen with Luke now? Like not explicitly, but it's like now established like, oh, Lorelai is, back on the market. Okay. So that should be interesting. Now that Lane is back, I hope she gets to talk to Henry. I'd like to see that. Rory and Dean, no comment right now. I think it's just status quo. Yeah. And in general predictions, I just want to note that I did say that the inn thing was going to happen in season 2.
You did.
So that seems to be coming true. And I believe I said I thought that like them opening the new inn would be kind of like around the end of the season. Like it would be like the season would like build up maybe to them doing that. Like kind of around like the finale would be like the new inn. Maybe that could still happen. But also I'm now noticing too that like certain things happen actually a lot faster than I initially anticipated in this show.
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
I thought that like the whole Max and Lorelai relationship was going to at least last like a few more episodes. Like it was
half
like
the season.
It was like, oh, we're engaged. Then the next episode, oh, we're married this week. We're gonna get married this weekend, and it's like, oh, now we're broken up. It's like, whoa, okay, like that's how it feels. The pacing of
it
that
was
like,
very fast.
I was not expecting that, so I didn't plan for that in my ideas of how this season was gonna go. So now there's this whole like middle section of I'm like, what the heck's gonna happen? Because I don't think the inn stuff is gonna take up the whole season. I don't know if there's enough material there. So I'm like, something else big is going to happen that I don't know about yet. But I don't, obviously I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. I think you'll have maybe some more thoughts about this next episode.
Okay.
Some new things are introduced next episode.
I've said before, like, it's possible that like a new guy could come to school or something. That could happen.
That could. Okay. All right, guys. That was episode 4, Road Trip to Harvard. And next time, it is episode 6. That's wrong. Episode 5, Nick and Nora, Sid and Nancy.
Thanks so much, everyone, for listening. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening on.
And if you want to support our show, head over to buymeacoffee.com/sistersandstarshollow. Every episode description has a link, and you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Until next time,
keep the coffee flowing.